Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Real quick, if you missed yesterday's video, at the end of today's episode, there will be a short video on a project I've been working on. You can find the timestamp below. Enjoy. Also from yesterday on the injuries at Giga Texas, I really don't want you guys to feel like I was trying to spin that article. Point blank, Tesla does absolutely need to do better when it comes to injuries, both at Austin and especially at Fremont. So I want that to be very clear. The point I was trying to make was that this entire article was based on an analysis done by the information using OSHA data that they never actually shared. And lastly, if I came off as cavalier about Tesla's injury data, I do apologize for that. Certainly not my intentions, because I'm with you, regardless of what the averages are, even one injury is too many. I'm not at all giving Tesla a pass here, but I do think they'll make this better with time. I did, however, find it interesting the topics that this Becky Peterson chooses to report on Tesla. One more from yesterday. Some of you called me out saying I was wrong about VW's market share. I was referring to VW brand alone, their market share being down. VW Group as a whole was up year over year, but again, I was talking about VW, the brand alone. On X, Dave Lee suggested a partnership between Tesla and XAI, saying Tesla would provide a monetary investment into XAI as well as Dojo compute resources going forward. XAI then gives Tesla some equity and access to Grok AI going forward. Elon chimed in saying, "We'll discuss with Tesla board." So to be clear, there are no guarantees this happens. However, I do think it's very likely. To be clear, X Corp is separate from XAI. X Corp is what actually owns X, formerly Twitter. XAI is what owns Grok. Part of why I think this is likely because from day one on XAI's website, it literally says they plan to work closely with Tesla. One scenario that could come about would be Tesla taking between $1 and $5 billion, investing that into XAI to own a part of that company, have an ownership stake. Tesla could also provide some compute resources in the form of Dojo to XAI, since the compute needed to turn Grok into a real competitor to something like ChatGPT is not insignificant. Why could this be the missing piece for Tesla? Well, so far Tesla with FSD has its foundational real-world model with FSD on its 4 to 5 million car fleet, traveling the world gathering real-world data. But so far what Tesla does not really have is the knowledge side in the form of a LLM or a large language model. If Tesla were to have access and part ownership in Grok, that's actually trained on the X platform. So all of that data, all of the text, all of the videos could be paired up with Tesla's foundational model and FSD and implemented into Tesla vehicles, and of course used in Optimus as well. And for Tesla vehicles down the line, having access to Grok, that could mean more of a voice assistant feature inside Tesla vehicles. You can directly speak to it, ask it questions, and it gives you real-time information because it's trained on all of the data on the X platform. Rather than continuing to speculate, because we don't know if this is actually going to happen, just to give you some numbers, things to keep in mind, Anthropic's valuation, they have been looking for between $20 and $30 billion. OpenAI's valuation could be north of $80 billion. Point being, it's not out of the question to think that in a few years, Grok could be valued anywhere between $50 and $150 billion. So if Tesla buys an equity stake in that now, obviously the sooner the better. And I have to say, in a robotaxi future, the ability to have a conversation with your vehicle is a pretty enticing feature. Simply put, if Tesla were to go through with this, then owning Tesla shares would also give you access to some of the upside when it comes to XAI and Grok. And replying to SMR talking about why XAI and Tesla makes a lot of sense, Elon said this does seem like a compelling argument, but it must go through a formal Tesla board process and independent valuation. From here, the main question now becomes, from a Tesla board perspective, what reasons, if any, would they be able to think of for not wanting to do this? Typically, in cases like this, valuation opinions can be stumbling blocks, but should be something they can get over because the upside for something like this over the next 5 to 10 years is pretty massive. It really does seem like something Tesla should do. Today, Elon said all design and engineering of the original Tesla Roadster is now fully open source. Whatever we have, you now have. Could this be a prelude to Tesla making an announcement about the Roadster 2.0? One can hope. In the event you'd like to build your own original Roadster, the instructions are now online. S.E. Robinson shared this image of a sign outside of a Buc-ee's that said you could be gaming in a Tesla arcade right now with a QR code to schedule a test drive. What if I told you that right now there are probably over 20 different data brokers that have your personal public information listed online, and even worse, they're actually selling it to other companies? How do I know? Because I checked for myself and it turned out I had 49 different data brokers with my personal info all over the web. Luckily, I was able to find DeleteMe, who did eventually offer to sponsor this video. The truth is though, I'd recommend them as a service even if they didn't. That is, of course, if you like your privacy. Simply put, DeleteMe can save you tens, if not hundreds of frustrating hours calling or contacting all of these data brokers, asking them to remove your data. Why do this at all? Many identity thefts, phishing scams, and doxing instances arise from bad actors getting your data from these brokers. And worse, when someone buys your data from a broker, they can also see information about your relatives. DeleteMe gives you reports every few weeks as they continually scan the web for your personal data and then get it removed for you. Why did I choose to trust them with my personal data? Well, I'm pretty sure I watched every single YouTube video review on them first and felt very good about it. They're headquartered in the United States and they've been in business for over a decade. In the reports, they show you the current status of your information removal and the broker it's being removed from. So if you want to do what you can to avoid scam calls, phishing emails, and identity theft, DeleteMe would be a great service to try out to save you a ton of time and frustration. If you want to check it out, you can head to joindeleteme.com/electrified to get 20% off using my code Electrified. The link is in the description below. Thank you to DeleteMe, and thanks to all of you for supporting the channel. Jeff Roberts shared a few images of the Cybertruck at Giga Texas. One I wanted to share. In this image, you can clearly see the path of the Giga Wiper, definitely leaving some area on the passenger side. The question becomes, will that be annoying for the passenger? What do you think? Do you remember that Chinese protester at the Shanghai Auto Show saying that the brakes failed on her Model 3, causing her to get in an accident? Well, Tesla sued her and ended up winning the case. The court ordered the protester to apologize publicly, pay damages to Tesla, and cover vehicle evaluation fees. Altogether, she'll have to pay just over $6,000 US. Good to see justice served. On the Tesla Sweden situation, according to a mediator who contacted Tesla representatives, Elon Musk has issued an order for the Swedish branch not to sign a collective agreement with IF Metall. The last discussion that took place between the two sides was on November 6th. Just in case you thought Elon and Tesla might cave here, think again. We still have roughly 90% of Tesla employees not joining in on the strike. So far through November, Tesla registered 858 new cars according to car.info, which would be up 55% compared to November of last year. However, now we have some Swedish companies saying they are stopping buying Tesla vehicles, and some others saying that they've implemented a purchasing freeze when it comes to Tesla, and they've withdrawn orders that have been placed. Today we have New Jersey announcing that by 2035, they're looking to ban all new sales of ICE vehicles. This law will come into effect starting in 2027, where manufacturers have to ensure that zero-emission vehicles represent 42% of sales in the state, with that percentage increasing each year until 2035. This would make New Jersey the 9th state so far to enact legislation banning ICE sales. A quick PSA, if you check Tesla's new inventory page, you will find some Model Y discounts up to $3,000. Michael Fang shared a screenshot from the Tesla app saying a Model Y HEPA filter retrofit for vehicles 2021 and older is now available through the request for service. The average cost for this that people are reporting is between $250 and $300, and if it's saying that your vehicle is not eligible, there's a chance if you have a 2021 year model, you already have a HEPA filter. I'm just guessing here, but if you do this for your older Model Y and you have the HEPA filter, then Tesla would be able to enable bioweapon defense mode through a software update. Just my speculation. A local news source in Buffalo Buffalo is reporting that there is a bedbug infestation at Gigafactory 2 in Buffalo, New York. Workers shared some images with the news station and said the outbreak began last Thursday. The employees said that chemicals were sprayed inside the factory that was supposed to eradicate the bedbugs, but some employees were having adverse reactions to the chemical. The employees are saying they've had to use their own paid vacation or sick time to avoid these conditions. An OSHA rep did say that they have received dozens of calls regarding the bedbugs in the factory. However, OSHA also said it's investigating everything going on, but it does not have any specific workplace standards for bedbugs. Lately, Tesla has had some key autopilot and FSD trial victories, and they might have to defend themselves yet again. A Florida judge found reasonable evidence that Elon and Tesla executives knew that the vehicles had a defective autopilot system, but still allowed the cars to be driven anyway. This one stemming from a fatal crash back in 2019 involving Stephen Banner, and now we have his wife acting as the plaintiff coming against Tesla. The judge's ruling now means this can proceed to trial and can bring punitive damages claims against Tesla. The Florida judge found evidence Tesla engaged in a marketing strategy that painted the products as autonomous, and that Elon's public statements about the technology had a significant effect on the belief about the capabilities of the products. The judge also found that Banner's wife should be able to argue to jurors that Tesla's warnings in its manuals and click wrap agreement were inadequate. The judge said it would be reasonable to conclude that the defendant Tesla, through its CEO and engineers, was acutely aware of the problem with autopilot failing to detect cross traffic. This case really is focusing on autopilot, not FSD. The judge cited that video from 2016 of a Tesla vehicle driving itself, saying absent from that video is any indication that the video is aspirational or that this technology does not currently exist in the market. Tesla lawyers, you're up. In some potentially very exciting news, we have car sales reporting that Tesla is bringing a Model 3 performance vehicle to the market in the first half of 2024. They did give up their source. This was coming from Daniel Ho, the Australian chief engineer. He said the Model 3 performance will be, quote, pretty special. With regard to the Model 3 performance back in 2017, Tesla said it left a few things on the table, in part due to the production challenges. Tesla suggested there was loads more potential with the original performance Model 3, but the goal at the time was to deliver that car in high volume. The company says its intention with the 24 Model 3 performance is to address that and realize that potential, with driving enthusiasts at the center of significant engineering work that is taking place. They said straight line performance will be improved from the prior version, but it will also have other hardware and software changes. They mentioned bigger brakes, a step up in tires, a more aggressive body kit, and interior design tweaks, as well as trim upgrades. This isn't just out of the blue. Over the past few months, we've seen some hints like the potential bucket performance seats. Here's another shot. This news is certainly not official, but it does indeed seem pretty likely. And yes, there will be some level of the Osborne effect taking place here, but the truth is we've already been experiencing that with the Model 3 Plus. There was a benchmark interview with the CEO of one of Europe's largest and oldest mining companies. The simple takeaway though, if you want to have access to a large supply of nickel, you can't ignore Indonesia. Here it is. If you missed yesterday's video, just a little something I've been working on. On and off for the past year, really, this is one project I've been working on. It's been an incredible few years with Electrified, and it's been a pleasure getting to know some of you. When I stop and think about our common interests, whether it's being a fan of Elon, an owner of Tesla stock, a lover of technology, manufacturing, or innovation, an owner of a Tesla product, someone who desires a cleaner, sustainable future, or some combination of those, it's hard not to be grateful for the story we all get to watch unfold. I'm thankful every single day for every one of you that makes this community what it is, and I wanted us all to have a way to outwardly express our shared interests and really our shared mission. My hope is that these products serve as conversation starters so we all have easy ways to share the real Tesla story. And look, it's true, most creator stores are not great. The quality is subpar and you end up not wearing whatever you buy. I went back and forth with different suppliers for months, actually wearing, washing, testing, and redesigning everything. I have to say, the process was worth it, and I find myself wearing or using these products all the time. I will roll out new products periodically as things happen in the Teslaverse, and we know Elon gives us quotable moments pretty often. For now, we're only shipping to the United States, but in time, we do plan to expand that more globally. You can find the store at electrified.shop, and it'll always be in the descriptions below. But whether you ever grab something or not, I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you who has been a part of Electrified. I am forever grateful for this season, and I'm excited to keep watching this transition to a cleaner, better, more enjoyable future with all of you. Cheers. Don't forget, check out DeleteMe linked below. Take advantage of the discount. It's true that my wife's peace of mind has been going up like Tesla stock back in 2020 now that we've been using DeleteMe. Hope you all have a wonderful and a safe Thanksgiving. My next upload will be this coming Monday. You can find me on X, linked below. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.